Before the age of Roger, before the great pirate era began, there was another queen who stood in the shadow of the most feared man alive, Eris D. Xebec. Her name was Eris D. Teach, the mother of Blackbeard. Her story is one of love, tragedy, and betrayal, buried beneath the ashes of God Valley. And if you look closely, her death might just explain why Teach became the man he is today, and why he carries the will of D in the darkest way imaginable. Eris wasn't a warrior or a conqueror. She was part of the Davy family, a bloodline once branded as enemies of the celestial dragons, ancient descendants of the people who defied the gods. When Eris D. Xebec rose to power, he met Eris, a woman who refused to bow even in the face of danger. She was bold, self-reliant, and refused to cling to any man for protection. And that's what made Eris fall in love with her. Years later, they had a son, Marshall D. Teach. But because Eris's name was cursed, he sent his wife and child to live in secret on God Valley, believing they'd be safe there. He couldn't have been more wrong. One fateful day, the world nobles arrived on God Valley for their twisted, native hunting competition. When the celestial dragons discovered the Davy family's existence, they unleashed hell. Eris and her people were captured, chained, humiliated, and paraded as prey. Yet, even in chains, she shielded her son. When the nobles threw weapons at them in mockery, Eris threw herself over Teach, whispering that everything would be all right, that he had to live. But then came chaos. The Eris pirates stormed the island. Kaido, Big Mom, Whitebeard all joined the battle. In the middle of the massacre, Eris and Teach managed to escape. Eris found them, but so did the Knights of God. The Knights had turned Eris's own family, the Davy family, into demonic creatures, twisted soldiers of the world government. As the Knights surrounded them, Eris realized that Eris couldn't fight freely while trying to protect her and their child. So she made the hardest choice of her life. She looked him in the eyes and said, "Let me go." When Eris refused, she smiled, reminding him she wasn't some fragile woman who needed saving, and she pushed herself away. She promised him that she and Teach would survive, and meet him again on Lulusia. That meeting never came. Eris D. Teach was killed, either during the God Valley hunt or shortly after. Eris died soon after, his dream shattered. And their child, Marshall D. Teach, was left alone. The boy who grew up without his mother, abandoned by the world, carrying both the will of D and the blood of Eris, learned only one thing. The world doesn't protect you. You take what you want, or you die forgotten. That's why Teach never sleeps. That's why he never trusts anyone. Because deep down, he remembers his mother's voice. He remembers how the world hunted his family, and he swore he'd never be prey again. Eris D. Teach, the woman history erased, might just be the true origin of Blackbeard's darkness. And the forgotten queen of the Eris era.